Hey, what is going on, everybody? Welcome to another live stream. I am sitting here. I am joined with Tyler and Ken, who's joining us on this podcast, and we are talking everything about the 2023 CrossFit Open. If you watched the live stream from last time, we talked a little bit about the Open. So today we're going to be expanding upon it. We got a couple topics that we're going to talk about, and as well, open the discussion up like we did last time and answer any of your guys' questions. So as we get started here, go ahead and let us know who's watching. So comment down below and let us know if you're here. Say hi.
What's up, guys? What's up?
What's up?
Ken Battiston.
Hello, hello.
Welcome to the live stream, not a podcast.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Denise is in the house. Jeff Burke's in the house.
Jeff Berkey.
Nice.
Denise likes our table. It's
You
good.
like our table?
It's custom.
Thank you.
Custom.
It's not custom. It was customly loaded here by my two hands.
It's fancy.
This was like a Shane Carter donation, wasn't it?
Yeah.
This is from Lincoln Center, maybe?
Yeah. Repurposed.
Nice.
Awesome. Denise, nice table. Yeah. Thank you.
Tyler
Megan.
in the house.
Megan
Yeah.
Noah Walkup. What up?
So is it Megan or is it Noah or is it both?
That's the question.
Good. This episode's brought to you by Ice Mountain.
Staying hydrated.
That'd be nice if it was sponsored by Ice Mountain.
Ken, have you been on many podcasts?
Not many.
No?
Not that I can think of. I think
Not in a
maybe
while.
a couple, but not many.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, welcome.
It's been a minute.
Yeah. Are you nervous?
No.
No.
No,
Sit
man.
down, sit
All
down.
three Masons
He's
on
like-
this thing.
Sitting down with my friends.
He's like, gotta talk about CrossFit? No problem.
No problem. Got
Right.
it.
We got 12 people in here. Last time we hit 30, so I think like 35, maybe 40.
Text your grandmas.
Tyler's favorite thing is to text your cousins. Tyler likes cousins, throwing out cousins.
What was that?
We
It
did a
was like-
video a while
It was
ago.
like, what was that? It was like, tell your friends, your cousins.
Tell your parents, your friends, and your cousins.
Yeah, and it's just like this random, like,
Nice.
we want your cousins to be really healthy.
Yeah.
I mean, you want
It-
people to be healthy, right?
We
Yeah.
do, but it was just so like,
it was like such
left
a
field.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
everything was flowing really good, and I was like, your cousin.
All right. 16 people. Nice.
Oh man,
Nice. I saw Danton.
Danton's
was
on
in
here?
Dan better be here because we got something to talk about that involves Danton.
CEO of the beer league.
CEO.
That's a little too official for beer league. What should
Yeah.
he be?
I don't
He's
know.
The warden.
Sir.
the sir. No, that's
The
one of the
sir, the
rules.
warden.
Wow.
That's one of the like titles you earn, I think, if you dominate the beer league.
Yeah, it is. I think that's in the rules, which are apparently upcoming.
Yeah.
That we're going to talk about. Dan, are you here? I see Denise, but no Danton.
Oh, I thought I saw Danton come in.
All right. Well, I think 17 is enough to party.
17's enough to get started?
Mm-hmm. I thought I'd see my wife sneak in, but
Yeah,
Probably
where's
not.
my wife?
yeah, what?
Where's your wife, Ken? Did you watch these?
Probably taking care of the kids.
That's probably what
If I
my
had to
wife
guess.
is
Yeah,
doing.
they're probably doing important things.
Yeah.
Not hanging out, a bunch of dudes
Yeah.
on a video.
That'd be my
Dan's here.
guess.
Cool. Well, Dan's here. Now we can get started.
Yep, it's official.
All right, cool. So we're going to talk about a couple different things today, but one of the big things that we want to talk about is how the Open runs at Centered CrossFit. So we have these things, we host these things called Friday Night Lights, and the way the Open works is on Thursday evenings, they release the workout for the week, right? And once that workout is released,
Who's they?
They, CrossFit.
CrossFit?
Yeah.
CrossFit,
All right.
yeah.
.com.
CrossFit. CrossFit release the workout on Thursday
Yep.
evenings. And then from there, we have until Monday evening to complete those workouts. Now, our community, we all come together and we do those workouts on Friday evenings. Our morning classes, the structure of the day is our morning classes are all in effect. So we still have the 5, 6, 7:30, and then 9 o'clock class. Then we cancel the noon class, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
That's
And then-
official.
That's
Noonies.
official. Yeah, so heads up. And then in the evenings, we run heats. So we completely change the floor. We set it up, and we typically have anywhere between 8 to 14-ish lanes. A lot of that depends on the workout as well, what we can accommodate for. Does it use certain pieces of equipment? So we try to get as many people in there without it being like on top of each other. So the heats will be sign up beforehand. So we typically have a whiteboard where there's heats being listed, and you can sign up for those throughout the day. We'll release the heat times because those will change depending on the length of the workout, and you'll sign up for those throughout the day.
First come, first serve.
Yes, first come, first serve. So typically those heats will start at 4 o'clock. We typically open the gym around 3:30. You can come, you can roll out, same exact thing. The heats will start at 4:30, and then they'll go till we run out of people, which is another topic that we have to talk about, but we're not quite there yet. So the heats will run until we run out of people, until everybody's gone. And I had something else to add. I don't quite remember.
No, I think that's mostly it. I think like the biggest thing is, like getting your name on the board. That's actually usually a pretty big deal because you can't just like show up and say like, oh, I'm planning on going at 4:30. And it's like, well, there's 50 people already here. So just making sure that, you're proactive on getting your name on the board. And in the past, we've done a good job of like, if you have to, work gets in the way or whatever, like just communicate that. Like if your schedule is jammed, like we'd much rather do what we can to accommodate you. But obviously like it's kind of an as needed basis. Like don't just say, oh, I want to go first and get it over with and hang out all night.
Yeah.
Like we kind of have to make it work so everybody can participate. But yeah, that's pretty much the flow. Friday Night Lights. Pretty much.
Yeah, so we have the heats. They start at 4 o'clock. We typically run till about 6:30, 7-ish, depends on the workout.
Totally depends on the workout. But yeah, we're usually out of there. I mean, we're not there terribly late. So
the big thing is for a lot of people that were asking, because we have, I think we're officially over 50 people signed up for the Open, which is awesome.
Yeah, that's
great.
awesome.
And then I think we might be over 62, but it's really hard to tally them up. So if someone wants to tally them up for me, go ahead. But don't miss anybody. So the morning classes are run the exact same. They're classes. They're led by a coach, and they're run the exact same way. And then the evening classes are the heats. So that's a great time for you to bring family, anybody that want to cheer you on, and just hang out. Really, it's really like a big party, and people are just working out.
Yeah, I mean, and I'd say like two pieces to that. Like the Friday Night Lights is a party. There's a different energy. Like it's totally a wonderful time to do the open workout. I'd say like if you're registered and things like that, we do like to have you, like if you're able to prioritize getting there in the evening, that's great, because then we have judges handy and all that. If you come to a class, it's probably a good idea to like reach out ahead of time and be like, hey, is there anybody there that can judge me? So that you're not just like assuming like, oh, there's going to be judges there, when really there might be a coach and 20 athletes working out or something. So we want to make sure that, it's just communicated. If you need to get your score validated by a judge and input that way, that you communicate that with us. But for Friday Night Lights, we do make sure that we have plenty of people that have taken the judges course, and, coaches are available to be able to judge you and things like that. So that's definitely a component that's a little bit different. As you said, we have over 50 people registered. So that means this year we got more people needing to be judged than ever. You're definitely for a long time, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a big deal. I think. Go
Ken,
ahead.
how many opens? What open is this for you?
Oh man.
Yeah, me and
We were
Tyler
talking
just
about
talked
this.
about
You might need a few hands.
my first Open was in 2012.
2012.
Yeah, and then I think went through one or two unofficially where I just did them. I didn't sign up, but I still did them kind of behind the scenes, and just did them to kind of keep the streak going. I always like doing the Open every year. Just a few years there where I didn't sign up, but yeah, first one was 2012. So
Number 12, 11, 12.
that's pushing up there.
Yeah, it would be 12 that he's participated in.
Yeah.
And then you just have to subtract
12.
whatever he didn't submit a score for, right?
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure like we're tied because I think we missed a similar number of years, but I think my first one was 20. I know I've been a part of every Open, so 2011 was the first one.
Yep.
And like I remember doing the first workout like 7 times or something.
Yeah, I remember.
And then like
Tyler's the king of redos.
The website crashed, and it was like, oh, you get an extra like 3 days to do it again. And we were like, all right, let's do it again. And yeah, I think I got that one. I like progressively got worse.
I've seen Tyler come in with the lights off and just him the only one in the gym doing a redo. And I'm just like, dude, what are you doing?
Yeah, just to like prove to myself that was the best. And yeah, very rarely did I like actually like get better, you know, but
yeah. Hey, if shout out to LA. LA said hi. Shout out to say hi to Jenny Denny.
Jenny Denny,
hey,
what's
Jenny.
up?
Okay. Signing up as a requirement for the beer league. Yes, Dan, we're gonna get to the beer league in just a second. Where I was going with that is I was gonna say, do you guys have a favorite heat to work out in? Like, Ken, do you prefer like a certain heat? I know like the 5-6 o'clock time. Like, I'm pretty sure we had that place pumping last year. I mean, the music was going, people were screaming. I mean, do you have a specific time you prefer?
Honestly, I like going, if I can, I like going in the first heat.
The first heat?
Yeah.
Get it done.
Get it out of the way.
Like my mindset is just, you know, if I train, it's a common time for me to train is at 4 o'clock, and I like keeping it similar to that. And then, you know, I can do the workout, and then I can help coach, can help cheer on my wife when she does them, and we can kind of hand off the kids as well. So
yeah,
I like being able to get it
do
done
you
early.
Still get like the pregame butterflies before open workouts, or is that kind of like gone away?
I think sometimes, like it kind of depends on how much pressure I put on myself. So if it's like a workout that I know like I have high expectations on, I want to do well. But if it's got like 1,000 burpees in it,
it's just kind of like
I'm a little more chill because I know I'm gonna have to really work and suffer through a movement I don't particularly.
Do you feel like
enjoy.
there's a lot of pressure on you this year?
Yes and no. I mean, I'm in the Masters division this year for the first time, which is nice, and like personally, last year motivated me more than anything in a long time, to be honest. And I more want to prove to myself that I can still compete at a relatively high level, even having 2 kids and a full-time career that sometimes doesn't allow me to have the best training days, but you make the best out of them when you're there. So
but like full-time career, and like having been there, done that, all these things happened. Like in the last 12 months, the PRs that you've hit, lifetime PRs, are staggering, right?
Yep.
And I think that's like a really cool thing to see. Like you've done CrossFit at the highest level, like in your peak, and like you didn't actually peak, right?
Yeah.
Like here comes like, the next journey. And I think that's really cool to see. Like, I mean, and a lot of the times it's like, oh yeah, you might've got better at something that you were terrible at, but it's actually been the opposite. Like you've hit lifetime PRs on cleans and things like that, where you're like, you're known as the strong guy, and then you like PR your strength, and it's like, what? Like at 35 and all these things. So, I mean, that's super cool to see. And I think it's really motivating, not only for, yourself, but for like all of our other athletes to see that and, see what's possible. So that's pretty awesome. I'm excited for it. I'm excited to see where you end up.
Bob just jumped in. He said hi.
Bob.
Comment below. Comment in the little comment section your preferred time for Fridays, for the Friday heats. If you're an early bird like Ken, if you like to get it in and get it done. If you're like, I work out at 5, I want to do it at 5, or you're kind of sneaking with the last heat. Let me know. Comment.
And on this topic, I got a piece too. Like, it's one thing to have your preferred time, but like sometimes you just show up, and like if you've never done a Friday Night Lights before, like we're not there to hold your hand, which is a little different. Like, and not that we hold your hand anyway, but like we're not there to tell you like, hey, this is your warm up. This is how we're gonna prep for this movement. Like you get there and you're gonna have a warm up area, and you're gonna be responsible for doing kind of your own deal and getting physically prepped. And a lot of the times, people come in and they're like so mental, like they're so stressed out about like, oh no, the open and like all these things, that they totally forget like, oh shoot, I got to go warm up, right? And it's like, hey, your heat's in 5 minutes, and you like try and jump on an echo bike, and it's like, dude, that's not enough. Like you need to get there, get your name on the board so you have your heat, and then like get busy getting prepped, right? And I think that's a big deal that especially our newer athletes might not be aware of. Usually we'll put like a suggested warm up or whatever on the whiteboard in the other room, but like making sure that you take that personal ownership to get prepped.
I think there's a couple additional things to go there too. So like the morning heats, it's this regular classes. This only pertains to the evening classes. So I would get there, and if you need help, like, hey, like I saw this workout, what should we do? We'll post a suggested warm-up, which we definitely recommend you should do. And then if you need any additional help with that, you're more than welcome to come ask a coach. Be like, hey, like, is there anything else I should do? Because the coaches have a pretty good idea of our athletes that we have, right? Like, hey, like, I would spend an extra 5 minutes, doing this stretch maybe for your hips or for your shoulders, or, I would make sure you get your heart rate up or something like that. So it's definitely like, hey, next heat, you're up in 5 minutes, and then it's like 3, 2, 1, go.
Yeah, we keep it tight timetable, so you got to be ready.
Think we got a good core group of like veteran CrossFitters too that
absolutely
will give you genuinely good advice, or at least point you to a coach that could help you as well. So
absolutely,
you can look around and see who's one who maybe just finished the workout. You could ask them.
That's a little risky.
Would you do anything different?
How did it feel?
So I just think we got, along with our coaches, there's a pretty good like core group that have been doing it a while that could help point you in the right direction too.
Yeah, definitely. One of the things I was just thinking about as we were talking through this is like having realistic expectations, but also not leaving things on the table, right? Like the Open is not the time to be like, oh, well, I can't do this.
Yeah.
Because the whole point of the Open is to be like, well, how do you know? Like, let's see what you can do, So it's a really good time to have that. But then like also like within reason, right? Like maybe like getting your first muscle up is possible in the Open, but like a workout that has 30 muscle ups in it, like, on your first day, like, oh, you got your first one and 29 more. Like that's maybe not as realistic.
But getting that first one is huge.
Awesome. And I think like learning to be happy with how you perform, right? Like that's the whole deal, is like, this is a test, and best practice is to do it right the first time, right? Like I'm a terrible example in that I used to do these workouts like, multiple times in a day, not even in the weekend. Like, and if you're getting one rep better, it's like, well, you're still in the same pool of scores. So like, what was the point of that one extra? I mean, sometimes there's a mental hurdle you got to overcome and you want to redo it and prove it to yourself. But like, it's really a good practice to have realistic expectations going into it and then execute on that first try, I think is a really big deal.
I think some of the redo though is probably the way it was formatted back in the day, where like there was so much pressure to make like the top X number.
Right.
Because that was it. Like that was when you moved on.
Right.
And now it's like if you make the top 10%,
that's true.
Which is a fairly large number.
Yeah.
You're going to move on to the next stage. So I think in one aspect it's changed a little bit, where you don't have as much pressure to redo it, which I actually really like, because
for sure,
I think it really
put a lot of stress, I know, like on the athletes and then also the affiliates as well, because I know affiliates were staying open, I mean, for 5 weeks long. They were staying open all weekend trying to get people to do redos, and it was just incredibly stressful.
And we need to do a shout out to CrossFit, because the switch from 5 weeks to 3 is like a total godsend. Like that is the best thing that they ever did. It actually wasn't even 5. Wasn't it 6 the first year?
It was like 6 and then 5. And
it was like
long.
It whittled its way down to the sweet spot of 3, and I'm a huge fan of 3. And I really like 3 when they have like part A, part B of some scores, so you actually get like multiple scores out of it. I think that makes a lot of sense, but the 3 weeks for the affiliate is the way to go. It's awesome.
I think you have something?
No, I just think the way it's formatted lets people enjoy Friday Night Lights a lot more than in the past. So
we had a really cool comment. Dan Hart said, last year I was not comfortable working out in front of a large group of people, but this year he's shooting for the Friday nights. So,
it's awesome.
It's awesome. And I think there's a lot of things to unpack there. Like, one is like the strength of the community, and like the reality of like a year ago he knew of these people, but he didn't know these people. And so like now you know your friend, like now you have friends here, right? And in Dan's case, he has friends and family in the house. And like, so it becomes a lot more personal and enjoyable for you there. But then also like the athlete that Dan is now compared to then is night and day difference. And so that confidence has developed, over the past year. So I think that's awesome.
Yeah. It's kind of cool when you see like the normal morning class meet with the normal evening goers.
This
and
mesh.
Yeah, there's like a mesh of the whole community. It's like that awesome like community event feel too.
I've seen your name on the leaderboard.
Yeah.
So this is you. Okay.
Yeah, this is what I've been
funny.
chasing all year. Like,
Yeah.
kinda cool. So
Yeah.
it's pretty neat to see.
Yeah. Cool. So, I think that's all pretty much for that, unless you guys had something. I think what would be kind of fun is if we did a little, I don't know, guesstimate, prediction of the Open. So I think we can do 2 guesses, and you guys can participate too. You can comment below, but you get 2 guesses and 2 guesses only, or 2 predictions or whatever. And the 2 predictions are this. What is one thing you think, what is one prediction you have for a workout? And then what is like one out there thing? Like you're like, man, if they put this in there, it would be crazy. So so I'll go first. Like my first thing is I think it would be, I don't think they'll do it, but like I think I would hate to see it is if they did that dumbbell box jump workout again for the 3rd time.
The snatches and box jumps.
Like I think like
Same thing.
showing like a 3-peat, a 3-peat, and it might not be that one, but like I think a 3-peat from like maybe like 2012 to 2014, then when they did again like in 2018 to whatever, and then like they brought it back for a 3rd time to show for the people who've been doing it for 10, 11, 12 years, like is there like what does the evolution of the athlete look like?
It'd be interesting.
So like a 3-peat, I think like now would be a good timing for that.
Yeah.
And then the second thing, the oddball thing, I had it, but then I forgot it. Do you have something?
I mean, I can jump in.
Yeah, go ahead.
I mean,
think about it. I forgot.
I've been
right.
riding the speed step wagon here. Like they're gonna bring the jump rope speed steps in, and I'm like half kidding that that's gonna happen, but I told Danton I bet him $100 that they'll show up. So like I'm like, part of me is like really hoping that it definitely shows up. And before now it was just him and I that knew that, so I just told the world that I probably owe Danton $100. But I think speed steps would be wild, and not necessarily that specific thing, but something that is so simple that everybody can do, but mastery is so obvious, right? I think if it was like 200 speed steps, which like there's a ton of reasons why I think it wouldn't be that. It's a nightmare to count, first of all. But I think like if it was something like 200 speed steps, it's like, well, everybody in the gym can figure it out and like trip their way through 200, but somebody can probably do it in like a minute, and like that's or probably faster. And so like when you think of that, it's like, well, it took me 5 minutes, but Ken did it in 30 seconds. And it's like, that would be a really cool way to see that. So like an oddball movement like that, I think would be cool. Something that's just so simple that people overlook, but displays mastery like that. And then like my prediction, I don't know, like this is, again, year 13 that I've been a part of the Open. And every year, like this time of year, I'm like thinking to myself, like, oof, like, I really hope this doesn't show up either for me or just our community at large. But like right now, and maybe it's like a false confidence, but like I truly feel like this is the most prepared I've seen a community or a group of people be in 13 years. Like I feel like we've covered, such a wide kind of array of fitness that I feel like we're really prepared. And anything that we may not have touched, I feel like we've at least been exposed to something similar to where we can adapt to it, and I think we'll do well. So I'm like, I don't know what to expect. I think a 3-peat would be interesting.
My oddball, sorry to interrupt.
Go ahead.
I thought of it. My oddball thing was that movement I made up the other day, the burpee shuttle.
The burpee shuttle.
Yeah,
I can see that.
The burpee shuttle.
That actually
burpee
is
shuttle.
That could actually happen. That makes a lot of sense.
That was my oddball thing.
And that's another one that displays mastery, right? So like it is so simple. Fall down, get up and run to the other side of the room.
Right.
But like it might take you forever to do 10, and again, somebody else can probably do
dive bomb into it.
Like
get
just
up
like bam, fly. And
Yeah.
I think that one's so interesting because like whoever your burpee king is might not win that movement, right? And same thing's true of your runners. Like it's really about it's a really well-rounded movement. So I could totally see something like that showing up. It would be awesome. What you got, Ken?
I think a movement that could show up, and just the fact that it's Boz who's doing it. He likes to reach back into the archives. Could be like a sumo deadlift high pull. I know everyone who's
heavier light.
Would we all have to like put a piece of tape across our nipples and like the bar has to like clear the tape?
And the reason I say it though is because it is one of the 9 foundational movements.
Yeah,
and if you've been to an L1, you've all been taught how to do it. But I don't see a lot of people doing them.
Right.
CrossFit did just make that post about going back to the fundamentals.
So that's kind of been my gut. Really the whole year is like, I feel like he's going to reach back and pull
or
out
freaking med ball squat cleans, dude. What if
I
something
do too,
like,
Yep.
like med ball squat cleans would be miserable in an open workout.
Yeah. Or, you know, I could even just see him doing some kind of complex with the overhead movements, like just reaching back into the archives and saying, have you mastered the basics?
Yeah.
Because I get this gut feeling he's going to do something like that.
They've been hitting that a lot. I see online and stuff.
Even like
Instagram.
carries, like I can't recall there being like carries in a workout, but like
a farmer's carry.
Something like a farmer's carry would be cool. Like I could see a dumbbell workout where you have to do like 100-foot farmer's carry and then do some stuff with the dumbbells. Yeah. They haven't done things like that, and that's like old school CrossFit. Like we used to carry dumbbells around city blocks and 400 meter carry in the middle of some crappy like
even something simple like a goblet squat.
I could see that.
We could all implement that very easily, and I think
that's a pretty easy one to judge. I mean, like it's pretty obvious on that one versus like an air squat. Like they're moving so fast and it's not so obvious, but a goblet squat will slow you down enough.
Yeah,
it could be. Yeah,
pretty potent if you're paired with the right movements too. So
yeah,
I think that could be like those two, sumo deadlift and the goblet squat might be an oddball thing.
Sumo deadlift.
Sumo deadlift, I think you get a lot of belly aches on that one.
Belly aches.
A lot of back aches.
Definitely.
For sure.
What was the other one, Jason?
Like, what is one prediction? Like, it could be a repeat kind of.
He kind of covered like all.
Yeah. I guess it's kind of answering the same thing. Like I do really think there's going to be a pull back to the beginnings, and there's going to be some simple couplet or triplet that he designed or liked way back in the day with maybe a new small twist to it.
Yeah. There was a really weird one like way back when, and I don't know if this was the first year or it was one of the early years, but it was you got 1 point for a squat clean and you got 1 point for a jerk.
Yeah, it was 5-minute AMRAP.
And it was just it was basically how many clean and jerks can you do, right? But
they let you thruster it.
They let you,
cluster it.
There was like a bunch of weird ways that you could get that done. And I thought that was interesting. Like that weight was 165, I think, for us.
It was a 5-minute AMRAP, yeah.
Like I would be interested. I mean, what would that weight have to be today? Could it be the same and just like people do a million
what was the weight?
Clusters? 165. It's like,
men,
it's just such a weird weight, I don't know.
Yeah.
But again, this is like the first time I feel like as a group of people we're prepared, and I think I do think it's okay to feel somewhat confident going into the Open this year.
Yeah.
And a lot of our athletes have been training their butts off, with intention. Their eyes are on the quarterfinals, and I think that's a really healthy thing to be focused on, because I think the whole year has been prepping them to be in that top 10%, if not higher, Yeah,
there's nothing wrong with putting your goals up there and working towards them, I think that's something to strive for.
Yeah, if you can't tell, these guys really like programming. So
I do.
We do our programming in-house if you're watching this. So these guys are the head masterminds behind that and come up with everything.
Except for Saturday. We got to give Dan credit for Saturday.
Yes, Saturdays. If you love Saturdays, or if you are the inverse, Dan's your guy. So if you have any ideas for Saturdays, go to Dan. Tell him about the burpee shuttle runs that you want to do more of. And not
definitely
the sumo deadlift high pulls.
Hey, we're ready.
Yeah.
We're ready for it.
Ready?
I think one of the questions you had asked us, you had texted us earlier today.
Okay.
You had brought up just a fond memory or something about the Open that to think about. I was wondering if you guys had put any thought into that. You got one?
Any fond memories?
Just a memory, something that sticks out or you remember about the Open.
I just remember one of the first Opens that I did was the one with that, and this is why it's my arch nemesis, that dumbbell burpee box jump workout is I couldn't walk for the week after that. Tyler redid the workout I think 5 or 6 times, and I'm I couldn't even get up to think about getting my dumbbell to go redo the workout.
Yeah, I think I did it 6 times in that weekend, and you did it once, and we're crippled. However, you won, and the other thing is, I mean, the crazy thing is it wasn't you beat yourself up. I mean, you had the top score like in this area of the state. Like you smoked everybody in the area, and then you were like, you didn't work out again until the next Friday.
I went for it. I full sent it before full sent was a thing. Okay,
That's classic.
Yeah. You full sent and did not crash and burn until you were done, and that was pretty.
That's awesome.
That was good. So
I have pictures, and they're brutal.
it was bad.
Don't look them up, actually.
Right. I did have my memory. Like I remember there was a year that I was like super confident going into the Open, and I had gotten asked to do the Open announcement at Rogue. So it was like me and a couple other like.
Oh yeah, that was cool.
I was I was the average Joe, right? And then there was like Christy Aramo and like all these
awesome.
like beastly women that were, there's some guys in there too, I think, but like my goal was like, I'm gonna hang with the girls, because it was like it was like dumbbell cleans and muscle ups, and I was like, I got these muscle ups in the bag. And so 3, 2, 1 go happens, like you know, the lights are on with live broadcast, everything's sweet, I'm on the big floor, and like I'm looking shoulder to shoulder, and I'm like, hell yeah, like I am right here with these girls. Like this is great. And so like the first 2 rounds, like I'm almost like winning. And then I set my dumbbells down to take a break, and they do an entire round before I get back to the muscle. And like they end up like doubling or tripling my score, you know? And it was just like this, it was like super awesome and then super like demoralizing all in the same moment. But that was pretty cool
that was awesome.
be a part of. Like that was definitely my highlight.
Like a sweet shirt.
Oh yeah, that was great.
I was standing behind you like,
got
go,
some sneaks.
pick 'em up.
Matt Fraser came up and was like, yo, good job. And I was like, like I was like, great.
Yeah, that was awesome. That was at the Rogue.
It was in the factory.
Yeah.
They like cleared out an area and set up like
pictures.
a whole like regional setup, and you know, like Castro was there announcing the workout, and so it was super cool to be a part of the live announcement. And like if anybody listening or anybody that hears this gets the opportunity to go, like it is really intimidating, because again, you're on the floor with like the best in the world, you know, but at the same time, it's like an experience you'll never forget.
That was the year they did that, all 3. Like they had average, like it was you, and then like there was like 8 or 9 other people, like average
it was
Joes,
like I think they had like 4.
Yeah.
It was like 2 guys, 2 girls that were like affiliate members.
Yeah.
And then it was 2 guys, 2 girls that were, you know, like CrossFit
Wasn't there
Games
like masters
winners.
athletes in there too?
I think so. There was like a couple
few.
different. There was a couple different age categories and things. So it was cool. It was definitely a highlight for me, for sure.
What about you, Ken? Got any fond memories?
There's a lot of memories over the years, but like 2 that probably stick out the most are, I guess one is like maybe technically when it was over, was the first year when I qualified for regionals. So like when all the scores were in, and you look at the leaderboard and you're like, oh, I'm in.
I'm in.
Are you kidding me? You know, and like that is like a big deal. Like that was so cool. And I remember being just like thinking of the year I just gone through and all the work that was put in, and it's like, it was just incredible. Like to know I'm going to get a shot to make it to the games. Like that was cool.
Yeah.
And then the other one, there was a workout, I forget what year, but it started with 10 muscle ups.
On the rings?
Yeah, and it made everyone mad.
Yeah, and then you're just like, yes.
But it wasn't really so much me. It was watching my wife Danielle do 10 unbroken, and I was like, whoa. I was like, she's badass. Like, that's so cool. So I remember
that's awesome.
Just watching her do that and being in awe, because even now, but back in the day, that was even more of a feat you didn't really see a lot of females doing. I mean, it's still very impressive today, but all those years ago, it was like that. You just don't see that.
I think like going back to our oddball question, or something that we would see, I'm maybe saying this wishful, like hopeful thinking, but like I think those days are gone, right? Like I don't know, like the day where it's just like, hey, you either have ring muscle ups or you don't.
Yeah,
right.
I hope there's ring muscle ups.
I hope there is too, but I loved that year. You know, the athlete in me was like, hell yeah, like
it was cool.
It was awesome.
Yeah,
if you have them, it's awesome. Yeah. But then if it's like your first Open ever, and you're like, so I'm just gonna like try and get a muscle up for that was a 20-minute AMRAP or 15, I think. It was like muscle ups, double unders, and wall ball, and it was like do it again.
It might have been. I don't even. Do they have scaled then or not?
That's what I don't.
I don't remember.
Maybe they just bring that back.
I don't know. Dude.
I don't think
That's
they'll do that.
such a swift kick, you know.
Yeah, that's hard.
Gotcha.
I will say we did have a girl in the gym do her first one ever that year.
Yeah. Oh,
Because
a
of
lot.
it, and it was cool.
Yeah, I think that happened a lot, and I think that for that reason, I really, really hope they're in. I hope they're programmed. You
Yeah.
know.
They do it now where you got
But
to
I
get
think,
to it.
yeah, I think you have to
earn
get to it. I definitely think you have to get to it, and it doesn't have to be impossible to get there.
Right.
Like I want you to get there and have some time. But I really like it for that reason because I think people can be working, you know, super hard all year round with no success, and then they just have that little bit of push, and they get it, you know, on that.
And
So.
I think actually that is kind of a moment I remember because in 2012, that was my first open. There was a workout where it was a lot of muscle ups, and I thought I was good at them, and it checked my ego really quick. But then the next year they repeated it in 2013, and absolutely heads and tails better.
Yeah.
And I remember going into it like super motivated to like prove to myself like all that work was going to pay off, and it did. And it was a very gratifying moment. So it's kind of a cool thing.
That's why the repeats are cool.
It is cool.
I know like people are like, oh, I don't want to repeat. Like it's, you know, been
how
there,
it's
done
gonna
that.
feel.
Yeah. But like, I think it is really valuable for that, you know.
I timed that comment perfect. Danielle's watching now.
Oh,
nice.
Someone probably texted her and was like, man, Ken's talking sweet about you.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Cool. So, hey, let's do something real fast. Let's kind of transition. I would like to just go real fast, give a shout out to everyone that's kind of registered for the Open. We got a lot of people, so I'm going to go quick. Sorry if I mispronounce your name. I'm going to try.
You're going to read the roster?
I'm going to read the roster.
Oh, man.
It's pretty hard because, like, it's separated. Like, it's everybody in one, but then, like, I think, like, when you get to a certain age group, it separates them. So, like, I think, like, 50 or something up, they separate them.
I have no idea.
But here's the people. Ready? Here's the women. Chelsea Tiley, Jennifer Chapin, Mandolin Lair, Julie.
Gothina?
No. Keese Weeder.
Oh, Key Sweater.
Alana Gernon.
Key Sweater.
Haley Lavi, Brooke Pothost. Paige Keese Weeder, Janelle Lieber, Denise Allball, Stacy Wolf, Michaela Graham, Kelsey Mormon, Maria Moritz, Christina McCamey, Kayla Gregory, Allison Beatley, Haley Vaughn, Emily Gibson, Julia Hopperich, Lauren Walkup, Sarah Humphreys, Sarah Buxton, Nicole Simmons, Ashley Eink. Now for the guys. See if you guys recognize anybody. Cello Ramjan. I think that's how you say it. Noah Walkup, Justin Moritz, James Cannell, Derek Gillette, Austin Dresbach, Mark Gibson, Jason Tillman, Daniel Allball, Joshua Greer, Alex Lilly, Ken Battiston, Jason Mormon, Noah Gregory, Doug Uzgadicki, Holden Yunt, Cody Wilson, Danton Allball, Anthony Weed, Johnny Humphreys, Aaron Simmons, Dan Hart, Bradley Blackburn, Tyler Watson, Jared Wesbecker. Now,
Jerry's got to be in there, right?
yeah, so like that's where it gets. So like men 65 plus, we got Steve Lammers, Jerry Wilson. Women 65 plus, nobody.
Don't even say the women's.
Yeah.
They're
all 21.
Women's masters. Okay, they're all 35. Okay,
and under.
Yeah, Terry Gawker, L.A. Lorianne Crawford. Let's see. I'm sorry if I miss it. It is incredibly difficult to find everybody, but I'm going category by category. So like Danton and Denise. Yeah, Bob's on here somewhere. Oh, here we go. Men's. We'll just say men's. Jeff Burks, Chris Roffel, Joe Gawker, Bob Crawford. There's Bob. Ooh, I don't know about teens. We got any teenies?
Is Katie in there?
Girls.
She might miss the cut.
17,
I don't know.
Yeah, she might be older. So, yeah. I mean, like, these divisions, like, there's everything. Women's intellectual, men's intellectual. There's women's seated without hip. There's women seated with hip. Women's short stature, men's short stature, men vision, women multi-extremity. I mean, I apologize if I missed someone.
Yeah.
But
and I think,
that's
like,
the roster.
I think it's also funny how you're struggling with last names because, like, we see each and every, like, we could probably tell you, like,
60 years young.
10 things about everybody's, like, life and everything, like, their job, their relatives, all these things. And then it's like, wait, what's your last name again?
Yeah,
that needs
how
to
do
be
you
the
say
circle. That needs to be the circle time question tomorrow. what is your last name and how do you pronounce it?
Yeah,
Because it is so funny how like everything's on the super personal level, but it's like first name basis is pretty.
It's like when you see him in jeans. Like, whoa.
Yeah. Whoa. You have
Whoa,
jeans?
those aren't Lulus.
Yeah. What? Yeah, that's true. Yeah. So for everybody that is signed up, and then those of you that are going to, like, thank you. And, it's an awesome opportunity to represent the community and just be a part of something bigger than us. So thank you for being a part of it.
Yeah.
I think it's a good time to highlight the beer league, I think.
Yeah, that's the last thing. Beer league I got.
You got it?
Well,
right.
I don't got it, but that was the
You
topic.
got those rules handy?
I do have the rules.
Because I think one of the things that...
I know number 10.
Yeah, there's some really
Number 10
solid...
is brutal.
There's some solid rules, I think, that we'll have Jason read off, because I think you have the picture.
Explain what the beer league is.
Oh man,
This may
I think
not
that-
be
if I can.
I think
do
that might need to bring Danton onto one of these.
we have
and
so many
him
ideas. For,
dive
like,
into
these
it.
live streams.
But I think like one of the things that's really important is like rule number 1 is they only have 120 seconds to down a beer after the workout's over.
Yeah.
And I made the comment last week, I'm still usually like dry heaving at that point.
Yeah.
So that alone is an impressive feat. But I do know that one of the other rules that's really important to participate is you do actually have to be officially registered.
yeah.
I know like do you have the rules?
Yeah,
Can
you
you
want me
read
to
them
read
off?
these guys?
Yeah.
All right. So the first rule is what Tyler said. In 120 seconds, that's also known as 2 minutes. One must drink a beer in completion. And if you do not, it does not mean disqualification. However, you have to wear a cape for the next workout.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Nice.
Okay. And it says a light beer must be shotgun. So we better go heavy. The second rule is absolutely no redos.
Bummer.
So can't do that again.
Tyler's out.
Tyler's out. Denise says, do you really want Dan on a live feed? Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Denise, that was my first thought too.
Number 3 says no grips, if you will, unless you wear a crop top. So if you wear a crop top, you can wear grips, also noted as bitch mitts. Number 4 is giving a shit is absolutely prohibited.
I think that means you gotta have fun with it, right?
Yeah, that means you have to have fun.
Yeah, I think that is the big deal, right? And like I think like before we dive into that, I think like that one's worth noting. Like the beer league it's all about having fun, right? Yeah. And like at the end of the day, I think that's why the beer league is so important, and that's why we're giving it so much energy, right? Like not only is it entertaining and funny, but it is such an important part of what the Open is supposed to be. Like if the Open for you is this like incredibly stressful, like not fun thing, like I would like probably like whisper in your ear and say, hey, it's okay if you don't do it, but like this gives you a good like this is a fun excuse to sign up and actually throw down with your friends and like do the thing, and I think like that's what it's all about is keeping your attitude light, having fun with it, like, and like I think of like another way to think of like this is it's like church league softball, right? Like we go out on Sunday and we smack some home runs and have fun, and like it's a blast. And that's the whole point of this, is to highlight like, hey, this is very much a component of that. Now, those of you that are like shooting for the games, I kind of like, as your coach, don't want you to participate in the beer league.
Right.
But like those of you that are doing it for really that community aspect, I think it's a huge rule. What's next?
Dan Hart said, do we have to run for it, or will it have someone hand it to us?
I think Dan will hand it. I think he'll have it on ice ready.
Dan will have the roster and have it ready.
Know. Yeah.
Dan said he ordered a trophy today too.
Oh man.
Anyways,
I wonder what it is.
What's 6?
That was number 4.
Oh,
so
4.
Number 5 is weekly leader is referred to as sir.
Yes.
Hello, sir.
You could like change your name in Sugarwad too to like sir.
Circle time. What's your name?
Sir.
Sir. Number 6 is trucker hats are encouraged.
Nice.
I get down on that.
So yeah. Number 7 has to be done on Friday nights with a judge.
Oh, nice.
It's gotta be legit.
That. Legit. Yep, that's fun.
Number 8 must register for the Open. We already talked about that.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Number 9 must tell at least 5 people how stupid the workout is. No exceptions.
Yeah, I saw someone wrote up there. I thought this was called the beer league, not the wine league.
Yeah.
And that made me laugh. Someone wrote that up there. It made me laugh a little bit. Yeah. So I don't know who put it up there.
Yeah, I thought that was up there somewhere.
It's funny.
That's a good one.
And then number 10 is the one. It says no chiropractors.
Sorry, Toman.
Sorry, Jason.
You're out, bud.
Oh man, he would have redone it with me.
Wait,
anyway,
does that mean like he can't participate?
Yeah,
I took that as like you can't go to the chiropractor.
No.
Oh, that was strictly shot at Tillman.
No. Yeah,
Okay,
they're saying Jason can't kick their butts in the whole Open, so he's out.
I don't know. I would like to see Tillman chug a beer.
I would too. I think he'll chug one anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
I think
he probably would.
Anyway, just for fun.
Yeah, he's like, I'm gonna redo this, and I am a chiropractor, and I'm gonna win anyway. But yeah, no trophy. Sorry, Jason.
Anything you have to add, Danton?
Yeah, I think we should definitely give him some kind of I mean, this is
in the morning,
and I think like it's an important thing to note that like Danton having somebody like Danton take the lead on something like this is really important too, because this is not something that we have. This is like somewhat of a disclaimer, but it's also like a really awesome testament to our community. Like somebody within the community has created this little subculture that is really awesome, right? Yeah, it's giving everybody a place. It's giving it's something fun to participate in, and like it's totally like no pressure unless you register. But you can't give a shit. But
I think it kind of breaks that pressure, right? Like,
right.
You gotta, like you said, like you have the greater community, but you have this like sub community too that kind of likes to have fun with it and make some of their own rules up and have some fun.
Yeah, and I think like these are my understanding in my conversation with Danton the other day was this is the preliminary rules. I don't know that they've finished.
Yeah, I don't know if these are finalized.
This is just what this is their brainstorming.
See if number 10 sticks around.
So
number 10.
Yeah, we'll see if they make if there's an exception for Jason.
Yeah.
Maybe he has to like do something to opt in or something like
it's free adjustments for a year.
Or he's gonna go like kick the rig as hard as he can or something, so he's walking with a limp, like something stupid to give him a fighting chance. I don't know. But it's because you're fit, Jason.
Yeah, it's a compliment.
So, no, I think that's great. And again, I'm looking forward to just having that fun thing. And I think, like, for those of us that aren't participating in the beer league, I think, like, it's going to be great.
Fun.
Like, I'm eager to see who wins,
I'm excited to see the people chug.
Yeah. I'm excited to see him work out, but I'm excited to see him drink it afterwards.
Yeah, me too. I also think, like, if you throw up in the facility, like, there needs to be, like, a 100 burpee penalty or something. Like, you got to make it to the grass. Like, that's a house rule, not a league rule.
I don't know if anybody's ever thrown up on the floor.
Cello.
Actually, no, Cello.
Dude, Cello.
On that rower one when he couldn't get his feet unstrapped. Oh, man.
That was pretty wild.
That was tough.
Awesome. He's the only one.
Yeah. So, and the vomit thing, like, if it's your first Open, don't feel like, you're signing up to, like, be brutalized. Like, that's not exactly.
Sometimes it just happens.
That's not everybody's outcome. Yeah. Sometimes it just
really just does.
So, cool. What else we got?
Danton said something about weekly awards. So I mean, you got to hear it from his own.
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
his
he's
words.
He is the man.
Source.
So
we'll follow up with that, and there needs to be throw the guys for a loop.
Dude, I see Chuck Taylor made it on here.
Chuck,
what's up, Chuck?
What up, Chuck?
Pose on here.
Awesome. Hey, do you guys have any questions for us? I think that pretty much wraps it up for us. We've been kind of hanging out for about 50 minutes now.
Oof,
so
time for bed.
That was quick.
Yeah. So we'll hang out for like another 2-3 minutes here. If you guys have any questions, let us know. Let us know if we missed anything.
Denise said there needs to be some female representation in the beer league.
I'm down for that. I think that'd be sweet.
I think there was a rule of like no seltzers.
Does she have to be called sir? Like, I don't know.
Madam.
Yeah, madam.
Madame.
The queen.
The queen.
That'd be interesting. I like that idea.
But there's no seltzers, I heard. So
Dan says clean it up. Oh, I think that was when we were talking about throwing up.
Puke, yeah.
Nice.
So.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, I think I'm really looking forward to this year.
Sir, ma'am.
A lot of the years in the past, I kind of like, to be honest, of those 13 years, like I've probably dreaded a lot of those years.
It's stressful when you own the
It
business.
is stressful. Like, yeah, as an affiliate owner, the vantage point is definitely different. But even like years past is just like being a coach and things like that. Like, it's just like one of those things you're like, oof, like the Open's here again, But like this year, I don't have that feeling. Like this year, I'm really excited about it, and I'm really excited about the whole season. Like, the Open, quarterfinals, everything. Like, I love the new format. Kind of going back to the semifinal / regional approach. Like, I really like a lot of the changes that they're making, and it's making it a lot more fun to kind of watch and be a part of. So, yeah I'm super excited this year.
And you got 4 functioning bathrooms. So,
dude,
good.
talk about that.
Good to go.
Yeah,
that is
Good
great.
to go.
4
the
bathrooms.
2 was rough.
And a spot to actually warm up. Like,
Oh, yeah.
Like we've never had that.
Big space.
Yeah,
Yeah.
multiple spots.
Right.
You'd have like, I'm just showing up to like, I'm getting a little bit warm to like, I'm about to go on the stage to like, let's do it.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
and like years past, it's like, will you please get your kid from out from under my barbell? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like everybody was just kind of like there. And, you know, this year we actually have a space that'll work well for it. And
Aaron asked if we decided to have a coach's battle or not.
oh, man. It's too soon to make that decision, Aaron. We're
is it like coaches battle? Because I know a lot of people just really want to see like Lauren and I and Tyler like duke it out. So
yeah, like, do we want everybody
like,
in
is this
heat?
like an every coach battle or is this like a JTL Duke
'Cause,
Fest?
I mean, we can just hand Ken the trophy right now.
Yeah, because I
You
mean,
know,
like, yeah, we're just like pass it over. Dan said we'll have benches. Thank you, Dan.
Nice. Oh, yeah, we will. Dan just made some new benches. It'll be great.
Yeah,
That's
Aaron,
cool.
we don't know yet.
Yeah, we don't know.
To be determined.
But yeah,
That's cool.
I mean, I like the idea.
Haircut. Uh-oh. There it is.
Oh, no.
You thought you were going to
Dan,
get away.
We made it.
Oh,
We
no.
were 7 minutes
Dan.
away, Dan. Are you kidding me?
Dan.
Unbelievable.
Called you out.
That's also to be determined.
I mean, that one I actually threw out to the community. I think Julia brought it up, and I said, yo, like, what are the terms, you know? Like, you know, I've had a few ideas, but, I mean, I think, like, if I dethrone anybody in the beer league, I automatically don't have to cut my hair. Like,
Yeah.
if I beat Sir or Madam, I feel like I'm exempt from a haircut.
Do not let Tyler win. Are you
yeah.
participating in the beer league?
No, I'm not participating in the beer league, but I'm just saying if the beer league champ loses to me, I don't have to cut my hair. That's for sure.
Oh, that's, okay.
But I feel like there could be some other terms out there, you know, that maybe aren't performance based. I feel like
Winner of the beer league gets.
I mean, I'm not opposed to the.
Gets to cut it. Ooh.
Yeah, oh man, Dan, that's a bold move. I don't know about that one.
Liz said,
Dan would go so hard.
Liz said she wants to see JTL.
JTL. Jason Tyler Lauren.
Oh, all right. I was like, what is that? All right. So like the winner of that has to cut my hair?
Dan, I think, said if you win the coaches heat, then you don't have to cut your hair.
And is this like on a week to week basis?
No, that'd be like, dude,
it's like sudden
can't pin
death.
that all in 1 week.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it would be
it's
like the 3.
It'd be like
You have to overall score it.
burpees for time. I lose. Yeah.
Aw.
And then if it's muscle ups, you win.
Yeah. So you know,
he says he is good with
again,
tremors.
I'm cool with the term, like presenting the terms, you know. We still got a couple weeks here to decide that kind of stuff. So I do know I just talked to the Denise. He says he is good with trimmers. Say no. Yikes. The last thing I want to highlight here, and then we can kind of wrap it up. Years past, we've done like pizza parties and whatnot. I did reach out to Todd, who catered our Christmas party this year. That food was awesome. He assured me, he's like, yo, no, you're going to have like a lot of food left over. You ordered a lot. And then like halfway through the night, he was like,
we're out of chicken.
Dude, you guys can eat. And I was like, yep. So lesson learned there. Like we will be prepared. But Todd's actually going to do a taco bar for us. So that's the 3rd week that we're doing that. So
3rd and last week.
Yeah,
we'll have a taco bar.
If you're gonna miss all the other weeks and whatever, at least come eat on the 3rd one. But 3rd one, usually that's how it is. Like the first one, you have all this energy, super hyped up. Second one's like, okay, here we go again, and that 3rd one's kind of like the big hurrah finish, you know?
Yeah.
And so I like that. And usually, like in years past, again, those of you that haven't participated before, like, just to give you some ideas, like a lot of the times, some of my favorite memories of the Open in years past have been like, hey, we crushed the workout and then like a bunch of us go grab Mexican food or something afterwards. And like, there's a lot of cool stuff that happens there. It's a lot of good community building stuff. And like, I'm not saying you have to do that, but I think that's like some of my more fond memories is like going out and crushing chips and salsa and not being able to get out of the booth when you're done because you're so sore and full. But yeah, I mean, just things like that, right? Because that's what it's all about at the end of the day. It's all about celebrating the community that you're a part of, celebrating what you're capable of, you know? And I want to kind of leave on that note. It's more about what you're able to do, what you are able to accomplish more so than what you weren't able to do, right? Because,
Yeah.
I mean, there will always be somebody fitter than you. There will always be movements that you struggle with. I mean, like, even, you know, regardless of how fit you are, there's always something that, like, I'm just not going to be able to do that workout or that movement well, you know? And I think that's really important to note. Like, there is no reason you should ever do an open workout with your head hung. Like, you should always walk out with your chin high and just be like, hey, I did it, you know? And that's regardless of what's on the scoreboard. I know, like, last year we had a lot of people getting the movement last year. I think a lot of people I saw get better at was I think there was chest to bar pull-ups, and there's a couple athletes in particular that were like going into it with that saying I said you're not allowed to say. They were like, I can't do it. I don't have it. What should I do? And Danton and a couple others were just like, no, you're going to do it. Like, we're going to see how many you get. And they're like, well, I can only get a couple. And it's like,
all right.
Yeah. A couple's great. You know, like, those might be your first ever. And I think, like, that's key, because some of those athletes now are crushing it, you know, like they're able to do workouts with those movements in. And last year was chest to bar that stuck out to me the most, but every year there's something. So
Wasn't it wall walks too?
Wall walks. Dude, I hope wall walks show up.
I think we'll do well.
Dude, if wall walks show up, like, come on. We need to be just, like, pumped about that. But I don't know. 3 years in a row is big ask.
That is true. Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. Maybe. I mean, they did, like, basically the same workout 3 times last year.
I know.
So, like,
I was like,
all right, let's do wall walks again. Like, I think that would be awesome. I think we're way more prepared for those than we've ever been. Shuttle runs, bring those on. Like, feel like we're ready for those. So, I mean,
I agree.
We'll see.
Cool. So I think this is a good time to say what's coming up in the future. So we have a couple other ones of these, I guess, kind of planned. In the future, we want to do like a mindset one, kind of like
with Mark.
Yeah, with Mark, and talking about essentially what Tyler was just talking about. So going a little bit deeper into that. So we'll have guests or Mark on as a guest to kind of talk about that. And then I think there was another one we wanted to do as well.
I don't know. I'm getting pretty fried. I don't know.
Fried, maybe. So we'll see. So stay tuned and be on the lookout for those. So yeah. Got anything else?
Thanks for joining.
Thank you to
I'm excited
everybody.
to see y'all out on the floor.
Yeah,
it's your first time. Just relax and breathe, and know you got the community behind you.
Yeah, it's coming quick. 16 days. Well, 15 days once you sleep.
It's coming. I'm ready, man. I'm excited.
At 30 days, I was like, oh, yeah, still got time. Yeah. And then, like, now I'm like, oof, man, here it is.
Your year's worth of work is...
It's time.
It's time.
All right, we'll see you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Peace.
See ya.
See ya.